Hey everybody, it's yours truly, Chicken Nugget King 313. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm at 304 subscribers. Keep on liking, keep on sharing, keep on subscribing, keep on sending support my way, and even comment if you may. Tell a Lions fan to come join the journey. Tell a sports fan to tell a sports fan to come join the journey and holla back at your boy. So today we're doing top 5 DBs to look at for the NFL Draft Combine. Starting with Travis Hunter out of Colorado. Strengths: a player that can fit well in any defensive system. Willing to make a play. In college, he was a guy who can get solid field time. A true Swiss Army knife to the game of football. Gets the job done for Coach Prime. Weaknesses: his girlfriend being an off-the-field distraction. Also, can he live up to the hype? That's the question that we all want to ask, Travis Hunter. Can he live up to the hype? I mean, you've done very well in college and you won the Heisman Trophy. Can you bring the same hype, energy, and great ball play to a level like the NFL? The pros are a whole different level. It's hard to translate, that kind of energy, that kind of hype to a level like the NFL. The pros are just so different from college, too different. You got to study the playbook, you got to study the scheme, you got to study the personnel, you got to study, what to do and what not to do in the NFL, and you got to move like a pro. A pro could teach you that. And only time can tell if Travis Hunter is going to be a future Hall of Famer or a future Super Bowl champion. Only time can tell if he's going to be worth selecting at the number 1 pick in this year's NFL draft out in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Only time can tell on that. And we're all cheering on for the kid. Even though there's times where he's had hard times and dealing with social media and dealing with his girlfriend being an off the field distraction, we're all cheering for this kid to succeed and make waves. Make waves in the NFL, because it's hard to do when you're going to the NFL. So best of luck to the kid. I don't know if he's top 3, top 5 in your mind, but I think he's top 3, top 5 in my mind, worthy of being selected in the NFL. Jahdae Barron out of Texas. Strengths: loves to make hits, especially if he wants to make low contact. Knows when the pass is coming while reading QBs to get PBUs or interceptions. Weaknesses: none to my knowledge. Barron, to me, he's definitely a first-round talent, but we all know first-round talents very much likely fall second round, third round in the draft all the time, because guys like that fall second round, third round, become a steal of the draft. And I definitely see steal of the draft material in Jahdae Barron. The guy loves football. He loves football. He studies football. He preaches football. He practices football day in, day out. And, he just wants to be a better player. He wants to be a better player, a better pro, and he wants to learn from the coaches. So whatever system selects this kid and whatever team wants to identify this kid, they're definitely going to put their eyes on him and, put him wherever he wants to be put at, whether if it's the 3-4 or the 4-3, or you can have him out there in nickel, you can have him out there in basically nickel slot, whatever you want to do with him. He's definitely a DB's true DB to the game of football. So you don't want to sleep on Jahdae Barron and his game and the way he can definitely, make an impact and make an effect to the game of football. You don't want to sleep on that at all. Now, Will Johnson out of University of Michigan. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. Strengths: strong ball instincts, solid DB who can guard one-on-ones tightly at best, nice at making open tackles. Weaknesses: battling through injuries. That's all I got for you when it comes to Will Johnson. But Will Johnson is a very, very solid DB. He is up there with, Travis Hunter, Jahdae Barron, and many, many more. He's up there, and I think he can definitely be a premier player wherever he goes and whatever system he fits in. So I definitely think he can go early 10s, early 15, somewhere around there. I don't think he's just going to fall all the way to 5th round, 6th round, because that's just bogus if you fall all the way to 5th, 6th round. And that just shows that other teams were just like sleeping on you and not believing in you and not understanding that you can help out a team in so many ways. And Will Johnson can definitely be a ball hawk when you need him to be. And he's just that guy. He's that guy, and you gotta want him out there on the field. You definitely want his presence out there on the field, and you don't want to lose a quality player like that. He doesn't just bring quantity; he brings quality. Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. When you look at Trey Amos, right? He comes out of New Iberia, Louisiana. And he's a class of being a senior because, yeah, he's had his 4 seasons out in Ole Miss and whatnot. And he's only 195 pounds, 6 foot. And he has the will to eventually become an average starter, 6.24 prospect grade. Next gen stats is pretty good with that. Yeah, we're going to look at his weaknesses, because the strengths of mine is going to stand out more in more ways than one, more than likely. Strengths. Looks like he could be a diamond in the rough draft pick within whatever team selects him, under the radar type player, has a calm attitude on the field and a film junkie. Wants to put in work after practice. Weaknesses. We're going to look at NFL Network for weaknesses. Can be a little too quick to open hips to route movement. Allows unnecessary separation from off-man coverage, needs better eye balance and decisiveness from off coverage, loses some ground when it turns into flat-out foot race, plays receiver hands instead of the ball with back action, arm tackler, slow to get rid of perimeter blockers. That's basically the weaknesses. The strengths from the NFL Network, basically, when they look at prospects, is Trey Amos. Possesses foot quickness, size to be a problem in press, plays with pro coverage, agility, transition quicknesses, has body control and footwork, needs to stay in phase versus NFL routes, twitchy burst and long arms help with catch disruption, plant and drive in sudden and without stall at the top, desired pacing and positioning and vision and cover 3 looks, allowed sub 19% completion rate on throws of 20 plus air yards for his career per PFF. Well, in my mind, he could be an average starter, but then again, some average starters just turn out to be diamond in the roughs, and that's what you got to like at Trey. So Trey is definitely one of a kind. When you look at his stats, right? His stats, give me a moment. His stats, when you look at Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, right? The stats that he have in the full 2024 season was 50 tackles, 13 passes defended, and 3 interceptions. Not bad, not too shabby, but it stands out pretty good for him to be selected. And I don't know where he could be selected, but wherever he does get selected, they're getting a guy that wants to be a student, a student of the game, and he could be a prospect. He could just be a prospect. I don't see him being a day one starter potentially, but things can change. So definitely a prospect in the eyes. And some prospects, like I said before, turn out to be steals of the draft. So it's pretty worth it for him. Pretty worth it. Siobhan Revel. ECU, Eastern Carolina University. ECU isn't a big name college, but Siobhan Revel is a big time player. Regarding of where he's selected, you gotta love his game. You gotta love his passion. He can thrive anywhere you put him on defense. Deflecting passes is a true skill of his off the deep ball. Weaknesses? And yeah, by the way, shout out to NFL Network. Shout out to you. NFL.com, by the way. As we look at the weaknesses, because to me, in my mind, there's weaknesses that are none, you know. And when you look at Siobhan Revel, I did check out his highlights. He's pretty good. He's pretty solid, but he's basically a top 4, maybe top 5, top 6 pick. To be exact, will eventually become a plus starter, 6.33 prospect grade. He's out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, senior out of East Carolina, 6'1", 188 pounds. Benjamin St-Juste is a NFL comparison. Split high with long legs and a high center of gravity. Footwork and timing can get away from him when mirroring press release. Average balance and body control, matching routes, breaks, and stops. Relies too heavy on facing guarding instead of finding the ball. Needs improvement, pursuit angles, and entry as entry points. Oh my god, dude, I'm fucking